folks, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Unmasked. Today we're going to do something a little different. Normally on my channel we talk about all different topics about real estate investing, specifically on how to invest in real estate, different angles of real estate investing, all the different minutiae that deals with how to get in the game and how to make money. Today I want to tell you a little story. The story, I want you to look at yourself when you hear the story and see where you are in life. There once was a businessman that went out to another country on vacation. And while he was on vacation, he was on the sea and he was looking over at this fisherman. And this fisherman was bringing in fish left and right, left and right. And so he thought, holy cow, that is really cool. So the businessman went over to the fisherman and struck up a conversation. And through their conversation, the fisherman invited the businessman over to his house. Naturally, the businessman's like, okay, hey, I'm on vacation. I can go anywhere, do anything. While the businessman was over at the fisherman's house, eating the fish that was just caught so good, the businessman was head over heels over this fish and was telling the fisherman, this is the greatest fish I've ever had. And the businessman said, you know what you should do, being an entrepreneur? He said, you should sell this fish. This would be really good. You'd make a lot of money. And the fisherman thought about it. And the businessman said, you could sell this fish here locally, make enough money, you could buy a boat. And if you had a boat, think of all the more fish that you could bring in. And if you brought in all that fish, you could sell it not just to your community, but the neighboring communities, even to the point where you could sell it to all of your country. And the fisherman thought, oh, that sounds really interesting. And the businessman continued on. He said, not only is it interesting, you'd make a ton of money. This is great stuff. Imagine your name on all the fish labels, all the cans, imagine your name all over the place. When people talk about fish, they think of you. And the fisherman thought, wow, okay. And the businessman said, think about it. If you sold it all across your country, eventually you'd go international. You'd be worth millions. And the fisherman thought, wow, okay, that's a lot of money. And the businessman said, tell you what would you do with all that money? Trying to close the deal, of course. What would you do with all that money? And the fisherman thought, I'd buy a house. I'd buy a house on the sea, and I would go fishing every day. What I want you to think about is, what does real estate investing do for you? What would real estate investing do for you if you're not in the game already? I can tell you, real estate investing will build you wealth. But if you don't invest in experiences, you won't have a life. So what is the purpose of real estate investing in your life? If it is to build wealth, because right now you feel like you don't have a life, then it's worth the risk. It may just be worth the risk for you to get started. But you have to look within your soul. You have to consider for yourself, what is my time worth? Every moment that you work on investing in real estate is one moment you can't be with your family. Now inversely, every moment that you spend at work on a W-2 job where you're working 40 hours a week is 40 hours a week that you're away from your family. So I can tell you, real estate investing is one of the things that you can do that actually can bring that time down. It's not a whole lot. And the properties that I've purchased, many times I'd only spend an hour or two a month dealing with my property. Why? Because I have a property manager who takes care of it for me. If the renter isn't paying their rent, then I don't get the check at the beginning of the month, and that's when I would spend some time saying, hey, what's going on? And my property manager would go over to the tenant, collect the late fee, collect the rent, and then deposit it in my bank account. Take out his or her little fee. And then I'd be stuck with the rest. Honestly, it was just a couple hours of work, and I could make hundreds to even thousands of dollars per hour investing in real estate if you do it right. If you do it wrong, you could spend hours and hours and hours stressing over your property. The point is, know what your motivation is. Know what you're aiming for. If your aim is to be some guy who owns the penthouse in New York looking over the whole city, then you know what? Real estate investing can get you there, but you're going to have to put in a lot of work. If your goal is to be that person that buys a place in the countryside, has a house on its own pond or its own lake, and you can go fishing or golfing and play with your buddies, real estate investing gets you there too, and a lot faster. So today's video is for you to focus on what is it that you want out of life. Start investing in experiences if you haven't already. Investing in experiences builds a life. Investing in real estate builds wealth. And it's nice when you can have both. I have a question for you this time. My question is, where are you in your journey in real estate investing? Are you investing in experiences? Are you getting all out of life that you can? I'll tell you, I've got nothing to sell you. One of the biggest benefits you have of this channel is that I'm not trying to sell you anything at all. I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not a mortgage broker. I am not a real estate appraiser. I have a certificate in real estate appraisal, but I'm not an appraiser. I have nothing to gain from you watching these videos other than ad revenue. That's it. All of this is information that I wish I had had when I was that 22-year-old boy buying my first property. He's got people left and right, like Robert Kiyosaki's of the world, like the Donald Trumps of the world with their real estate programs, that are trying to get him to pay 20 to 30 grand to mortgage his future to learn how to invest in real estate. You don't need to do that. Everything you need to know on how to invest in real estate can be found here on YouTube. And I'm trying to be a pathway for that knowledge, for that experience that I have to give to you. If you have questions about real estate investing, please comment down below, leave me the question, and I'll be glad to make a video for you to teach you what I know. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.